What's up guys, Radku here, back with another Yu-Gi-Oh video, and today is going to be an update to Virtual World. This deck is dead. May it rest in peace. Bye True King of all calamities, bye Virtual World. Is what I would say if this deck wasn't completely busted still. This deck is still insane and has completely, it just has so much utility going into the format that even without True King of all calamities, this deck will still clap. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. Starting things off, I play 3 copies of Lulu. This card is a searcher for the deck. I'm just gonna blaze through these because you guys already know the stuff. Lulu is just really powerful, is a searcher for the deck, and is one of your main starter cards. Play 3 copies of Gigi. This card adds from grave to hand. Play 3 copies of Lily. This card sends 2 Virtual World cards instead of 1. So what you can do is, if you have a Chuchi on the field, you can send a Qinglong and a Nian Yan, and then you can get a search on top of having another extender, which is really good. And play 3 copies of Lao Lao. This card special summons from the graveyard and has great utility. I played 2 copies of Nian Yan and 1 copy of Tutu. Nian Yan and Tutu are the ones that you usually want to send to the grave off of the effects. Nian Yan is just a special summon for free, and Tutu is just insanely powerful as well. It's kind of just a toned down version of Nian Yan, with just one more, or a little bit more level. I played 3 copies of Ash Blossom because it's Ash Blossom. It stops everything. I played 2 copies of Nibiru. Okay, listen to me. Nibiru is going to be really good this format because without True King of all calamities, combo decks don't really have any incentive to not be played. Sure, there'll still be a lot of control decks running around, but combo decks are going to take hold right now, and Nibiru is going to be one of those cards you want to main deck. I play 1 copy of E-Telly because it can special summon Nian Yan, set up some combo plays pretty easily. I play 1 copy of Feather Duster because, it's a Feather Duster. It just gets rid of everything. I play 1 copy of Monster Reborn because that extra extender will actually be enough that it could easily put you over your opponent. I played 3 copies of Qinglong. This card is really good. On 1, it's a searcher, and 2, it just sets up another card for you to use the effects to special summon. On top of the fact that it's technically a negate, so people don't really pay attention to that a lot. I played 3 copies of Virtual World City. This card is mainly just to search out your Chuchi, because it can activate it directly from the deck, removing the need for you to leave it on the field for a while, and Chuchi is by far one of your best cards. I played 3 copies of Pot of Prosperity. This card is basically +2, because even though your extra deck is important, the fact that you're not randomly sending means that you can easily do that without losing a ton for your deck. I played 2 copies of Pot of Desires. This card's really good, just because the fact is that we play 3 of most of the cards we desperately need, other than Nian Yan and maybe Chuchi, but the fact is that, if you banish either of these, you'll still be able to do a lot of crazy stuff. It's just, it's a bit of a risk. I doubt you're gonna banish both of them, so, you still have utility, and you'll still not really run a ton of risk, but still. I played 1 copy of Virtual World Gate Zhuan Wu. This actually is a special summon from the grave. It's awesome. It does require basically a discard, but the fact is that this card's really powerful, but it's only a 1-of because it sucks on the field. I played 3 copies of Imperm because, I played it throughout the last format. If I'm gonna play it then, I'm gonna play it now. Screw you guys. Going into the extra deck, I played 3 copies of Shenshin. This card's insane. Basically, Macrocosmos. Play 1 copy of Crocodragon. This card is also really good, allows you to draw a lot of cards, and is just great for setting up rank 9 plays, because yes, the deck still does have rank 9 plays. It does. I play 1 copy of Vermilion Dragon Neck. This card is mainly for going second, just so that you can clear boards, on top of the fact that it's another card you can go into for, guess what, rank 9 plays. I played 2 copies of X-Saber Gothams. This is actually mainly for your hand looping aspect of the deck, because now that the deck doesn't have True King of all Calamities, you can't just always rely on that. So that means that you can use this to be able to further your plays, on top of the fact that it can also be just a way of completely hand looping your opponent for 5, because like you can loop Gothams and Cloud Castle to and then round off the combo with a Phantom Fortress, and then just completely hand loop your opponent. I play 2 copies of Cloud Castle. This card is insane for this deck, because this deck has become a rank 9 or level 9 spam. So like really, this card is really good in general, because it can get back your Gothams for hand looping plays, and it can get back any of your other stuff, including your Shen for follow-ups. I play 1 copy of Zhui. This card is like, because now that we don't have True King of all Calamities, we can actually go to relying on some of the other virtual world cards, which seems odd, doesn't it? I play 1 copy of Stardust Charge Warrior, mainly because 1, it's a level 6, so we can easily go into it, but 2, this card's great for going second place, because it allows you to just basically, it allows you to, Ultimate Conductor Tyranno your opponent and just attack all of their stuff. This card's like really, really good. I play 1 copy of, Phantom Fortress, because the deck can hand loop pretty easily, and Phantom Fortress is just another way of hand looping. You could play 2 of these to make the hand loop a bit easier, but I prefer 1, just because like even if you don't fully hand loop them, you still have a lot of plays you can do. I played 2 copies of Sacred Beast Hypertron. This card is actually like insanely powerful. This card is a negate, and it's basically like Dragoon if Dragoon didn't have protection, but the thing is that it can continually use its effect. It can gain back materials from the graveyard, which is really good, plus all of its effects are quick effects, so like you can easily get more materials on this card to set up more and more negation, which is really good. I play 1 copy of Long Long. I was thinking about playing 2 of this, because like it is a negation. When your opponent activates an effect of a monster with an attribute that is not on their field while they control a face-up monster, you can detach to negate. That's not bad actually, like, because like it can actually stop hand traps pretty easily, because initially I was actually playing a Hulk variant, but it doesn't work very well, because like all of them lock you into XCs, and or it locks you into level/rank monsters, so that makes it unplayable. But Long Long is just another way to avoid hand traps while technically going second, so it can work pretty well. And then I played 1 copy of Fairy Knight Ignar. So this card is actually insane. It's one of the most powerful cards you can play going second, because like this most decks right now, like we're still in that slower format, so like you can still make this card, and I'm an idiot because I forgot to play 2 of these. Just play 1 more copy of Zhui. You need 3 to make this card. You can detach 2, return all other cards on the field to your hand, and your opponent can't activate anything in response to it. It's a spell speed 4, get rid of everything. That's insanely powerful. This card's really, really busted, and the deck can make it easily. Like I said, just cut out literally anything from the deck. Like, you can cut out 1 Gothams, you can cut out, like, a Cloud Castle, you could cut out, I would personally cut out the Hypertron, just because this card's just insanely powerful. This outs everything, and I mean everything. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the deck. Let's go over to some combos. Here we are at the combos. Couldn't pause it in time. So here's a basic test hand. It might look like we don't exactly have the best test hand, but the fact is that if we get Lily and any of them, if we get Lulu or any of them, or if we can just set anything up, we get really nice combos. So we use the effect of Lily to ditch the Nian Nian and a Qinglong, and that's really important because Qinglong can now search the Lulu. We can use the effect of Lulu, sending the Zhuanwu to search, and we search a Lao Lao. We use those to go into a Gothams. Now we can loop for 1. Then I use the effect of Lao Lao, sending the Gigi to then use both of them, use them to synchro into a Cloud Castle. Now what we can do is we can special summon the Gothams back and then loop for 2. Then we banish the Zhuanwu and we can special summon the Nian Nian, and then we can go into a second Cloud Castle and loop for 3 with Gothams. Now we can overlay into either the mech, which can loop for 4, and now we have some disruption, and we have that, or preferably the second option, which is Hypertron. So the thing is that in the graveyard we have a spell and we have a virtual world card. So 1, we haven't used our normal summon yet, so we could technically normal summon any of these. But the thing is that, like, what we mainly would do is summon the Hypertron, and then we can actually just easily stop our opponent from doing whatever it is they need to with those 2 measly cards they have in their hand, because once we negate it, they won't be able to do anything. Plus we have an Ash Blossom. So that was just an easy combo. We didn't even draw into Lulu, and we were still able to go full combo and be able to loop for 3 to 4 and set up a disruption. And so that is pretty much going to be it for the combos. I'm not 100% sure about all the virtual world combos, but like still this is definitely an easy combo you can pull off to loop for 3 and set up a negation. So all in all, this deck is actually still going to be very powerful. Even without True King of All Calamities, Virtual World has so much that it can do. The deck is going to need a lot of utility, and it's probably going to need a little bit more of a push, and maybe from future indirect support or direct support in general. We should be able to boost this deck up back to tier 1 status. Even though, like, this deck probably isn't going to be tier 1 after True King of All Calamities getting hit, but it will definitely be a really good meta contender, maybe Rogue, and the deck is super cheap. You can pick everything up for maybe $70, and you can easily pull off the deck. I really enjoy this deck, and I truly think that this deck will be competitive going into the next format. But that's my opinion. What's your opinion? Tell me down in the comments below. Please like, subscribe, share, and yeah, just tell me what you think about the deck. Would you change up the virtual world lineup, change up the hand traps, and yeah, that's pretty much it, and I'll see you in the next Yu-Gi-Oh video. Peace, guys.